Go.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. I'm here today with Jason over at the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. How you doing, Jason?
Doing good, man. How's it going?
Doing good. Today we're going to be talking about the Big 12 standings. Way too early.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it right after the intro.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow.
So, you take charge of Oklahoma, and
So the first three, we
let us
don't
know.
really have
What's
to
the
talk
deal?
too much about the first three because obviously they've got Arkansas State week 1. That was going to be Georgia until they canceled
Yeah.
that game because it was going to, in case they did go in 2024 into the SEC as
Yeah.
we are. So that's obviously Arkansas State. That was Petrino's team. He's not there anymore.
I think Texas should have got out of that Bama game, if I'm being honest with you.
I kind of think they probably
I
should.
think we should have got out and played somebody else, but
Yeah.
I'm happy. I want to play Bama, but
I don't think it hurts anything for you guys. So yeah. Anyway, SMU the week after that, Tanner Mordecai even left. I don't think that they're going to be good. They're having dreams of a Pac-12 conference that's dead, so that weirds me out. Yeah, they're going to win that one. Tulsa, I mean, it's Tulsa. Come on, they should win that one too, even on the road. The Cincinnati game, I'm not sold on Scott Satterfield, and I know that a lot of people like him. I just don't think that he's that good a coach. And he's definitely not Luke Fickell, and they lost a lot of guys as far as we're talking about, like recruit-wise. I mean, the best guys that they were going to get, Oklahoma ended up with them. So even though it's on the road, I think that's going to be a tougher that's going to be one of the few times that Oklahoma leaves the state of Oklahoma 3 times this season.
Yeah.
I do feel like they should definitely win that one. Iowa State at home. That's one of those trap games, I think, for both Texas and Oklahoma, because of the fact that they can defend. They can defend you, and because they still had a top 10 defense in the country a year ago, and they were trash.
Their defense is gonna be good.
It always is. And so offensively, if that kid was to take a step forward, fine. But I still don't see it. I feel like there's another win. They should really get into the Red River game unbeaten. And then they're going to get through the Red River game unbeaten, because there's no way you guys win 2 in a row. And look, here's the deal. You said a minute ago that Dillon Gabriel doesn't play defense. That's such a lame excuse, by the way, because we know that he doesn't. But being on the field longer than a play or two is also helpful for your defense.
I agree, but at the same time, don't you have to
have a game going 49 to nothing never happens if you can't. They couldn't throw the ball. They had a tight end playing quarterback.
Listen, if you have the game at 49-0 and Dillon Gabriel played, no, the score wouldn't have been 49-0.
No,
but it wouldn't have been 21-17.
I think it could have been.
You have to count in.
Listen,
you have to count into the fact that we literally could have dropped 75.
Oh,
halfway through the third quarter, we stopped
it already. Just
are you?
Listen, bottom line, what you could have done in a situation where they had zero depth whatsoever at quarterback, and the fact that, listen, here's the deal. The one thing is you
had General.
He had an eye injury. He was supposed to start, and he had an eye injury, but a couple of days before something happened. That's exactly what happened.
Injury was, I don't want to go out there and get killed against Texas. That's what his eye injury was.
I'm going to let you get away with that one because it's funny. Look, I don't know. The one thing I'm going to tell you is this. There was times last year, and it was when Dillon Gabriel wasn't in the game, that they looked completely, on both sides of the ball. But I'm going to tell you the one thing that I'm going to say is, with all the losses, a ton of it was on defense, and we're talking about a defense that was bad anyway before that. Whatever you did on defense, it wasn't good. Now,
but can we also talk about Dillon Gabriel's like 7-11 versus Power 5?
Bro, No, you can't, because he played for UCF for a lot of those, and they're not going to
But he
beat a lot
played
of
for Oklahoma for a lot of those too.
bro.
I mean, y'all
stop
played.
it.
Y'all,
Look,
how many Power 5 games
he
did y'all
had a
play
better
last year?
season
At
than
least
Quinn Ewers did.
9,
He had better stats all the way around than Quinn had, all the way around.
except for in the win column.
Okay. They also
And we've already
let's
talked
talk
about that.
something.
Is that
Are you
because
going to let
Quinn
me?
was
Are you
bad,
going
or
to
is
let me
that
finish
because
this,
Sark's play calling? Is that because Quinn was bad, or Sark's play calling against Oklahoma State?
bro? Okay, I agree with you on the play calling part. I'm going to tell you this. I'm telling you that overall, it had nothing to do with Dylan Gabriel. None of this had anything. It's ridiculous to even talk about it when the defense was 124th out of 131.
I agree, but Dylan Gabriel, listen, he also threw 3 picks against Baylor.
Bro,
Now I know you said one of them.
One of them was a hold. One of them was a hold. Another one was tipped by his own receiver that should have been caught. 2 of those they're not on him. And it's one thing. It's one thing to say that. How many picks did he have total on the year? Like 6.
Quinn had 6. 3 of them against Oklahoma State.
Right. But what I'm telling you is that it's not like he was throwing interceptions every week, bro. He wasn't. And the other deal was this. The other part of it was this: is once after that freaking 2 weeks happened after the concussion against TCU, which was a ridiculous hit, by the way. And they hurt everybody.
TCU did that a lot.
They did that a lot last year. Yes, they did. But what I'll tell you is that that also changed the way that they played offense, because of the fact that Lebby knew you can't afford to get him hurt again. So they didn't let him run anymore. They weren't running the same kind of stuff. There was times, but towards the end of the year, finally they started looking better. Here's what I would tell you. He closed out both in losses by 3 points each. The Texas Tech game, he had freaking 500 passing yards, and they put up 50. Then they did what? They lost by 3 again to Florida State in the bowl game. He had another 400-yard day. I'm not concerned about Dylan Gabriel. And the other reason I'm not that concerned about him, we got Jackson Arnold coming in. He already looks amazing. I don't want to see him rushed into service, by the way. But if you had an injury or anything like that, it's not the same kind of situation. Whether or not they win this game or not, I told you a minute ago, I think that these 2 teams should meet each other in the conference championship, whoever wins this game.
I think so.
So, and the thing is that defensively, they're different now. The guys that weren't getting to play or that weren't on the team, they did great in the portal, and and some of the guys that they recruited that are freshmen, you don't want to expect a ton out of them. PJ Adebawari is going to be a stud. Peyton Bowden's liable to be a stud. Makari Vickers is a stud. I watched him shut down an entire half of the field against All-Americans in San Antonio. Period. Nobody threw his way once. He blanketed those guys. So I'm just gonna say that they're gonna be better. They got Dasan McCullough and his little brother. Dasan was great at Indiana last year. They got Lacey from defensive line from Notre Dame. They got Bothroyd from Wake Forest. He's been a game wrecker. I mean, dude, it's going to be a different thing. And even if they're just about 70th in the country, they would have won 10 games last year. If they're top 50, again, with this schedule, I'm going to tell you, the only loss I can see them having would be maybe Texas. But I don't see that happening.
Let's get into the rest of them. Let's pick up week 8, UCF.
UCF, week 8. They win.
I have that as a win.
They win. Yeah, they're at home.
Yeah.
They're at home.
Kansas.
They're going to beat Kansas. That
I have that as a win.
Yeah.
But that is the possible loss.
Sure. Again, we talked about Jalen Daniels is a stud.
He is.
Listen,
Devin Neal is no joke either.
I agree.
I agree.
I listen. I think that's a trap game there that you could lose. I could see that. They don't lose to Kansas generally. Kansas State is the Kansas problem that they have, generally speaking, and they don't.
How y'all dodge them? Y'all dodged 2 losses this year. Not getting Kansas, not getting Baylor. Y'all dodged 2 losses.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. They would have beaten
Baylor was
Baylor.
gonna
They were going to
3
beat Baylor,
y'all.
bro. They were going to beat the
Baylor was
brakes
gonna
off of
3-peat,
Baylor.
dude.
No, they were going to beat the brakes
No.
off of Baylor. All right, next. Okie Light.
Okie
Come on.
Light.
They're
Go ahead, rip them. Just rip
destroyed.
'em. I know
They're
you got it
destroyed.
in you.
Bro, Spencer Sanders is gone, and they're acting like it don't matter. They replaced him with Alan Bowman.
Alan Bowman.
Bowman. Their
Garbage.
new defensive coordinator that they brought in was at a Division III school.
Yeah.
On top of that, they lost their 2 best safeties. They lost 5 of their top 6 receivers. And did I say Spencer Sanders? As much as I couldn't stand the dude, the guy was way better than anybody they have.
He choked against Oklahoma every year.
Yeah.
He played good. Every other team, it seems like he played decent.
The
Not
dude
great,
I
but
think that
plays
he's
Oklahoma and just chokes.
Yeah, bro. You know what
Oklahoma
happens? You know what it is?
State.
It's choky. It's Oklahoma. It's Okie Light crap. That's what they are. It is because that's what Gundy is. They're toast.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if Okie Light wins more than 4 games. I'm just gonna put it that way. Yeah.
Well, hey,
beating the brakes off of them. Last time that they're going to have the game for at least 10 years, probably beating the brakes.
Hey,
off
let me
of
tell
them.
you something. Being a Longhorn fan, knowing that we beat A&M the last time we played, it's so nice. You end any argument immediately goes like, "Hey, didn't Justin Tucker? Didn't he hit that?" Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Did he do the money
It's
sign?
great.
Was
It's
he already
great.
doing the money sign then? Where he was doing the money? That dude is so good. Yeah. So
West Virginia in week 11, man.
That's another one of their losses from last year.
West Virginia's trash.
I think that they're in trouble, man. I do. Because Graham Harrell.
I don't think Neil Brown is a good coach at all.
I don't either.
I don't think he's got it in him.
Yeah, I think they're.
Now I will say that quarterback that came in.
I liked him, but I'm not even sure that he's going to be the starter, bro. I don't even know that he's going to be the starter.
I don't know, but I think he's pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if he transferred if he's got eligibility after this season.
JT Daniels,
if he plays
left,
a whole
though,
season,
he's going to be at Rice.
Yeah.
So, which is weird, but they got another guy in. They got another guy in that apparently is supposed to be. Kuz says he's good. I don't know. I think that they're trash. I think obviously they win that one. The game 12 or week 12 again at BYU. There's a stumbler. This is a tough place to play, man. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rowdy in that joint. I think that this is something that it's going to be a tough one. Now, how do these guys respond to the new conference? I don't know yet. But I feel like this is one of those they've got a really good coach. This is one of those kind of games that you could definitely see them losing. Even if they were undefeated right here, I'm kind of like what you just said with Texas. I don't expect them to go undefeated. There's no way.
Yeah.
So I would expect that if, this is where I would have to give them an L right now. And I could definitely see them possibly losing the Kansas game. There's no way they get beat by the Okie Light. And I think they beat the crap out of TCU in the last week because of what happened last year.
So you seem to sound.
I think that they go.
You seem to sound a little bit more. You seem to sound a little bit more willing to say that y'all could lose to BYU and Kansas over Texas. Is that just because it's Red River? Y'all lost last year. You think y'all are going to that game?
Of course, bro.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I don't recall last year if I picked Texas to beat Oklahoma. I don't know if I did.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say I'm not saying 100% we win that game.
I'm not saying 100% either, but I'm not going to admit it to you.
Are you more willing to say that you think y'all could lose to BYU at a higher 9 out of 10 times y'all lose to BYU, or not 9 out of 10. No. Out of 10 games, you lose to BYU more than you would lose to Texas out of 10 games?
Well, we did win 7 of the 10 before that. So against Texas. So, yeah, probably. I don't know, man. I honestly just being honest about it. Of course, that's the one game that it doesn't matter if how bad either team is. It just doesn't.
We beat y'all with Charlie Strong,
bro. Exactly.
Gosh,
that was. I was positive that game was easy, an easy win for Oklahoma, and they lost. So yeah, I'm not I'm not going to sit here and tell
Okay,
you
I'm
that.
just making sure because I was like,
Come on,
there for
man.
a second, I was like, does
This
he
isn't
really
my
think
first
he could lose to
rodeo. This is
BYU
not my
before
first rodeo,
Texas?
bro. It's not. So I get it.
I'm gonna agree with you,
And
though.
especially when I feel
TCU,
like they're
that's
going to play
a dub.
twice this year, dude. They're going to play twice
Yeah.
this year. I really do feel
Y'all
that
are gonna
way.
take back to back. Oh man, we might three-peat on y'all this year. Then 1 win last year, 2 wins this year.
I'm thinking
That'd
no.
be nice.
No, I don't think so.
That writes our ticket to the playoffs easy.
Listen,
TCU's a dub for y'all. TCU's not gonna be good. They lost
think they're-
so much, like we talked about to Texas. They had so many super seniors, so many transfer portal guys that are gone. Max Duggan, their running back Kendra Miller, Quentin Johnston,
Quentin
their
Johnston.
defense
Yeah,
is
I just don't.
D winners.
And I
Thomas
think that they've
Hodgins or
probably added
Hodgins,
some
whatever.
decent players because of the run that they made.
I'm sure they did.
probably did great through the portal. I
I know they got a
it's been that
receiver.
great, but yeah.
I know they got a receiver, but I don't
And they
remember.
did get Kendall.
He was a guy that was like on Texas's name.
They did get Kendall Briles,
Oh,
but
yeah.
here's what I'm going to say about Kendall Briles.
See.
This is the same kind of thing. The difference in Lincoln Riley is the same as the difference in the other Riley, Little Lincoln. That's not the same freaking offense as what the Briles guys run. It's not. It's not the same terminology. It's not the same. The routes are. It looks similar, but it isn't. It's similar, but it's not the same freaking thing. So even if they had some of these guys back, I think that there would be some issues with switching. I think that was part of the Oklahoma's issue for part of last year when you saw any kind of shakiness out of the receivers dropping footballs. I don't think that they were running the right routes a lot of the time. The offense was not the same thing. And I think on top of that, again, no super seniors, none of that stuff. I don't see TCU, and I think Sonny's a good coach. I just think that this is a year that they're not really gonna. I think they get their ass kicked week one, and it probably gets worse. Huh?
I said I think they're a one-hit wonder. They might do it again in like a decade and a half, but probably not to the Natty. Like their one hit next time might be like maybe they make it to the second round of the playoffs. But that for me leaves Oklahoma at 11-1 with their one loss coming to yours truly, Texas Longhorns, with the ceiling. I'll be honest, I gave y'all a ceiling of 12-0. I think y'all schedule's pretty easy. Y'all dodge, like I said, you dodge Kansas State and Baylor, the two teams that have given y'all some difficulty. So
I don't think
your
they've went
floor
12-0 since I've been
9-3.
alive, dude. I just don't know.
But y'all always lose one, but it's usually Kansas State, and you don't play them.
Right.
That's my thing.
We don't
Like I
play
know
Tech
y'all
again.
usually
That's the
win
one I
one.
really wish they were playing that again because they always beat the crap out of
Yeah.
Tech. But honestly,
I've got your floor at 9-3.
that's kind of where
possible
I've been.
losses
I
to
feel like
Texas, Kansas, and then I don't know who the other
maybe
would be,
UCF. I guess I don't know. BYU
or like you were saying, maybe BYU, Iowa State, just because of their defense, but I don't trust their offense to score.
Right. Yeah, I like
What do
Hunter
you got?
Deckers, and I like Matt. I think Matt's a good coach. I think that's just not a job that you're really going to win.
Surprised he's still
Like
there.
a lot. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he should have already doesn't seem like he wants to
Been
leave.
gone.
It doesn't seem like he wants to
No.
leave. But anyway, all right. So I think that I think that I've been saying this too. I expect them to win 9-ish. I would probably not. I would not lose my head if it was 8 because of the fact they're still a little young. If it was an 8-win season, I wouldn't be. I don't think that anybody's going to be happy with that with this schedule. But
No,
at
you'd
least
be
it's
just like Texas last. Like we took a step forward. It's not the best step,
Right.
but it's
Correct.
something better.
I think if it was 8
Something
wins, if
better.
it was 8 wins, then you got a 9th win in the bowl game or whatever, fine. But I really feel like for the regular season, if you don't win 9, you've probably had some bad injuries or something bad's happened, or you've not progressed the way we feel like you should have with this schedule.